Hey everyone, I'm going to do a quick All Things Dr. Leo with one of Memphis' own legends and icons and person I have respected all of my 30 years here. She's been a friend, a colleague, a lifesaver. Hey Tim, the person I can go to. Hey Fedora, I'm doing a quick All Things Dr. Leo. Don't laugh, Fedora is my producer, so she's going to holler.
I know.
She does a great job with it. So today's guest is none other than another guest. I know you enjoyed Gina Miller earlier. Hey, Carlos, is the one and only Deborah Manning Thomas.
Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Love you.
I love them. So what? Let me try to do this where we're both. I don't know
Okay.
if that's gonna work.
That's okay.
It
Don't
might-
they need to see me?
They need to see. I'm gonna do. Hey, Marvin Curtis. So I want to talk to Deborah. Deborah, tell us about you. Have been a legend in Memphis, and from when I moved to Memphis, I was here by Deborah Manning Thomas. So I had you come over and sing, and then our relationship has been spanned across many years. So tell us about your beginnings. How did you start in music and this kind of thing? Tell us how that began.
6 years old at Golden Leaf Missionary Baptist Church, 976 Peach Street here in Memphis. The late Mrs. Bessie Jean Nelson McKenzie was at that time we called them choir director. And she saw something in me. Hey, Jonathan, I love you.
Hey, John, great.
She saw something in me, and Mrs. Vernita Campbell Bailey Breathitt was the pianist at the time. She's the mother of Archbishop Leroy Bailey.
You're kidding.
Right.
Yes.
So these are my mentors. These people mentored me. They taught me the foundations of church music.
Right.
I was listening to Gina this morning, and a lot of things that she was talking about just came back to my memory because of people like
Gina.
I was listening to Gina Miller this morning.
Yes, okay.
And some of the things that she was talking about made me remember the basic foundations that Mrs. McKenzie and Mrs. Breathitt taught me. So my first solo was Blessed Assurance at 6 years old. My daddy was a deacon. And back in the day, deacons used to sit around the front of the church in chairs, and the rocking kind of chairs. And my daddy folded his arms and closed his eyes, and I knew that I was okay. So that was the first solo, and that was at 6 years old. And I've never been vain about my age, okay? So I started singing at 6. I've been singing for 60 years. I am 66 years old. And most of my singing, Leo, has really been gospel. I'm flexible, I can sing it all.
Right.
But my real love is gospel music. So from Golden Leaf, I went to Olivet Church. And baby, it was on and popping.
Right.
Oh my God, I was working with the late Barbara Westbrook Smith, her husband Ozzie. Ozzie now is the pastor, I want to say emeritus of Covenant United Church of Christ outside of Chicago. And those concerts that we would have every second Sunday in June were the thing to be at. In Memphis, baby. You had, after the benediction was said in 11 o'clock service, at 1:30, we go eat something, and about 30 minutes, the folk were already coming in, filling up the church. And the services were always phenomenal. The thing I loved about the Smiths, they were very versatile.
Yes.
We did they were
Sure
like
did.
you are
Sure
now.
did.
The things that you're doing now, they were
You
doing
were
it
doing all
then.
that,
Yeah. We were singing hymns, anthems,
And
spirituals, and gospels, everything. I mean, complete with choreography.
So tell me, what made Olivet? Let's talk a little bit about that. So you moved to Olivet. So Olivet was the go-to place. That was the church where the worship. What made it so then? I know Pastor Whalen was a pastor.
That was it.
Yeah.
Our leadership. Our pastor was a leader who thought outside the box. And then he had a genuine love for his people. He took us everywhere. I mean, he drove the buses all over this country. I mean, we went on a 5-city tour one year. I mean, it was just amazing. We went to Canaan United Church of Christ.
In New York City.
In New York City,
goodness.
Dr. Y.T. Walker.
Yes.
He named every choir member and had a little something to tell you about each one of them. He was that kind of pastor. He was a hands-on pastor and would knock the fool out of you if you were wrong. I mean, he loved us, and then, he would chastise us, so you couldn't help but love him.
Yeah.
You couldn't help
So
but
tell us about, Deborah, the musicians coming up in that era and time that made not only gospel music. What can you remember about Memphis in the 60s and 70s when you were coming up singing the Irma Clantons and all that?
Yeah.
What did all that have? How did all that have an effect upon who you are as a musician today, as a singer?
They were such encouragers, okay? And then they would put you in the setting where you could grow and develop.
So was that like National Baptist? Was it Lucy Campbell? Did you work with her?
It was, yes. I
You
remember
said-
Miss
tell-
Lucy. Miss
tell us
Lucy
about
was a
Lucy
short,
Campbell.
little short. She came to speak at our church at Golden Leaf one year for Wednesday. She was so short that they had to have a box for her to stand up on. Honey, that little feisty woman was something else. She was something else. I mean, short and powerful. This woman, she was somebody. She was somebody. I remember the story about how she discovered J. Robert Bradley. Dr. J. Robert Bradley was down on the Mississippi banks fishing for crawfish because that was their food. That was one of their meals, ways of eating. And he had collected his crawfish and was on his way back home. He stopped by what was then called Ellis Auditorium, and we know it today as the Cook Convention Center. He heard music coming from that center. They were preparing for the National Baptist Congress. And he learned the song just while he was standing there and started singing it. And so Miss Lucy had cut the song off, and J. Robert was still singing. She said, "Who is that singing? Bring him to me." Well, mind you, J. Robert was wearing what we call half deck, the blue jean overalls, and he had one hook up here, and this one was like that, dirty from the riverbank. She took her handkerchief, wiped his face, straightened him up, and told him to sing, and he sang. That's how he was discovered. She mentored him from that day until she died. So, I mean, in a way, that same kind of thing happened with me with Mrs. McKenzie, because Mrs. McKenzie was the successor to Miss Campbell in the National Congress. So she mentored me and taught me all of the hymns, anthems, and spirituals, taught me how to present myself.
Yes.
I mean, back in the day, we had people who gave us AR. Taught us how to look, do, and be. You just couldn't get up with anything on. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And when you went before the people, you had to be covered.
Yes.
Okay? Everything had to be in place. No jiggling. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. Oh, and I treasure that to this day. I do.
Yes, I know you do. And Deborah, all of that becomes, you come with such class. Your presentation is always anointed, it's powerful, it's very genuine.
Oh, glory to God.
Very sincere.
Thank you.
And that's been down through the years.
Thank you.
So what do you want to say? What can we say? I know there's so much to say about your career and what you've done. You've been one of those singers. Gina often told me, Gina Miller said this one, not in this conversation this morning, but she said there are soloists that are for the major platforms around the world. There are those soloists that are just for the city, and they're soloists just for the church, and they bless in those areas. Where do you sense that you've been called to, and that you feel that?
That is, a minister once said to me, he's gone to glory now, "You're local, and you'll never go any further. You're just local." I'm happy to be a dadgum good local. You understand? I know my place, I know my position, and I'm happy to bless the people right where I am. If I can be a good local singer, then I'm happy. I am happy. When I see what some of my friends have gone through on the national stage, I just tell God thank you, because he's given me peace of mind. He's blessed me to raise my children. They're all saved and doing well. And to me, that is, yes, God.
Yeah.
And my grandbabies.
Yes.
That's right, my grandbabies are saved. All but them last two, and I'm praying for them, baby. But God is so good that I am grateful that I'm being received by the people that I see every day.
Yeah.
And I see what God is doing in their lives. To me, baby, that makes me happy. And I'm a star. I'm a star in my own little way. Yeah, I am. But that's not important to me. I always think about this song that I sing. If I can help somebody as I pass along.
Yes.
If I can cheer somebody with a
Yes.
word of song. If I can spread love's message as the master taught, I know that's the second verse, then my living shall not be in vain. And I just want to think that I blessed somebody since I've been here.
2 more questions.
Okay.
One, tell us, did you ever have an opportunity for the national platform?
I did. With
Tell
Isaac
what-
Hayes. I
Did you
worked
turn
at
it
Stax.
down?
I did. I worked at Stax Records. But when with Irma Clanton, Isaac saw the show. Isaac and Mr. Al Bell saw the show, and they loved it so much. They loved
They
my
saw
performance.
what show was this, Irma Clanton show?
An Evening of Soul.
Oh,
They loved my
wow.
performance so much that they made me an employee of Stax Records, and I became a protege of Isaac Hayes. Isaac mentored me. I did background work for Inez Fox, Eddie Floyd, William Bell. I'm on Soul Finger with the Barcades. I'm one of the loudest voices that you'll ever hear saying, Soul Finger! Me, okay? I did Watch Stax in 1972. But the first man that I was married to messed up my opportunity with Isaac. They had a meeting privately that I knew nothing of. And Isaac was offering me a contract to become a recording artist. And he told Isaac that you can have her if you take me on as an artist too. See, he could sing too. Okay, so it didn't happen because Isaac did not do that. I did not know about it until about 10 years ago when Helen Washington, his dancer, told me that. Nobody ever told me anything, but Helen did tell me a few
10
years
years
ago.
ago.
And so I wanted to go to the cemetery and dig him up and kill him again. But I looked at it in another way. Maybe that just wasn't God's plan for me. When you look at the R. Kelly thing and what's going on now, I just don't think God meant for me to go that way. I had a moment of regret, but the Lord continues to bless, and I'm happy. I'm
Yeah, I
happy.
can
I
see
mean,
it.
I'm on my way to what God has promised me, that blessed 70, and I'm happy. I am so happy.
What do you want to say to singers now, musicians that are coming up in there, that encouraging, trying to get careers, or they're local singers trying to get a major platform? What are some key ingredients that you see that's lacking, or you want to encourage them to continue doing? Or
Stay
that's needed?
humble.
Stay humble. Okay.
Stay humble. I know that sounds, that sounds trite, but God rewards you when you patiently wait on Him. All things aren't to be done in your time, but in God's own time. And His time is perfect time. So work while you wait.
Yes, work while you wait.
But
yeah.
don't try to help Him,
Yeah.
because He does things wonderfully well.
Right, yeah.
God don't need no help, baby.
Right, right.
And that's the thing that I see a lot of musicians trying to do now. They're trying to push themselves, and it's not yours to do.
Right, right.
God does things wonderfully well.
Yes,
Let
he
Him
does.
do it. Let Him
Yes.
do it, and He will. And even if you don't get it,
Yeah.
don't stop.
Yeah.
Keep on. Keep
Yeah.
pressing. Keep pressing. I think about what Gina said this morning. She said, keep moving, because
Stay in the way.
that's it.
That's it. She
That's
said
it.
stay in the way.
You gotta be there in order for it to
Yeah,
happen.
yeah, yeah.
Just make yourself.
Deborah, end us with a chorus or something. If when you give the best of your service.
Oh,
Yeah.
if when you give the best of your service, telling the world that the Savior is come, be not dismayed when men don't believe you. He understands, and He'll say, well done. Oh, when I come to the end of my journey, weary of life, and the battle is won, carrying the staff and the cross of redemption. Oh, he'll understand, and he'll say, well, 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 well done.
My Lord. Thank you for this time.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Your
You know I
son
love me
says
some
hello.
you.
Chris Ingram says hello.
I
Mommy.
love you, son. Now look, that's part of my legacy,
That's
man.
it.
Yes,
That's
it
it.
is. Praise
Thank
God.
you again.
Love
All right.
you.
Bye-bye.